take a L, then you know I'm raising hell, huh? They don't want no problem. 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 All I know is win. I ain't never took a L. But if I take a L, then you know I'm raising hell.
It's that ground.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Today we've got a Week 5 matchup in store here, as it'll be the defending NFC champions, the Philadelphia Eagles, taking on the Los Angeles Rams. First quarter of the season already in the rear-view mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Now the fourth-year man, it's Cam Akers. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. You look at this Eagle defense. They were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And all defensive teams that I know talk about creating turnovers. Takeaways, they call them. And anytime you can get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really, really good performance. They exceeded that number in a big way.
Alert! 22!
They'll go again here with Akers. And this might net him a yard, if that, as he gets back to the original line of scrimmage, the 25. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Now, this defense for the Eagles, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Throwing is Stafford. He's got his target. That's complete. Now inside the 25. Van Jefferson. Touchdown. Van Jefferson. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Rams need just 3 plays to go down and take the early lead. Well, they spoke about the importance of getting off to a good start, and they're on their first drive, Charles, into the end zone for the touchdown.
And what an advantage for them. They're already clicking 1 drive in, didn't need to wait to get up to full speed. We had heard about the extra time they'd put in with each other, trying to learn each other's skills, what they liked, the whole deal, and it paid off early in this one. I would expect them to keep firing on the next drive and keep that connection going.
The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. converts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 right at the 30. Now a man picked up on draft night this year, DeAndre Swift. And somehow he's going to get a yard out of this as he fought through that first contact. It's 2nd down.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
From the 31, here's 2nd and 9. They go play action with Hurts. Rolling to his right. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete. You talk about this Rams defense. Against the pass, just numbers that they haven't liked. Number 30 in the league right now.
You know, when actors get ready for a scene, they often ask the question, what's my motivation? But what's the motivation of this group? What's their mindset? What's the problem that they have? Will they create an identity that allows them to get better?
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Hurts sets up to throw it. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. It's taken to the 26. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. Off the fake to Akers, here's Stafford. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. So the penalty declined, and they will keep the yardage on the completion.
And you could almost see him compartmentalize there throughout the route. Fought hard at the line of scrimmage, a lot of hand checking throughout the route. Great job staying focused on the football and pulling it in through the contact.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48.
Let's go now, let's go.
Stafford going to give this to Akers. And across the midfield, stripe into Eagle territory. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Well, the Rams at 1-3 here in the early part of the year. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And now Stafford's going to move him around.
11.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just 1 first down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They are coming off the game last week, which a very interesting game in Charles. Ultimately, it ended in a tie.
And that's difficult on teams because, let's face it, Brandon, they just don't know how to react. I mean, who does? Did you win? No. Did you lose? No. Because when you win, you jump up and down. Life's good. When you lose, you set your face in that stone look so that you show that you weren't hurt. I think it's one of those things that at the end of the year you find out just how you're supposed to feel about that tie. Did it help you or hurt you in the standings? Then you'll know what you really should have felt that game.
Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Barr. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
They'll run on first down with Akers. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Drill right, 22. Alert!
Off of play action. Here's Stafford. Open man. He's got Jefferson across the formation. That's good for 28 yards.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
From the gun, here's Stafford. That's out to the flat for Akers. Touchdown, Rams! Matthew Stafford, 2 touchdown passes in this first quarter. And the Rams are able to widen their advantage. This time, the extra point up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. Well, first down screen pass, good for 5.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
Throwing is Hurts. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. 13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Hurts. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago, there's another one right there.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Aaron Donald in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, that's a big defensive stop there, and it takes away a lot of the momentum from the offense coming off that big completion the prior snap. Give big credit to the defense for bouncing back.
2nd down. Here's Hurts. That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And that's on Pro Bowl center Jason Kelce. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Here's Hurts to throw. Dancing to his left. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. To the sideline and incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Taking a couple yards shy of midfield. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And the Rams are going to start this drive in great field position as they take over.
$11, 32. Alert!
On 1st and 10, Stafford. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. Touchdown, Allen! Make them now 3 first-half touchdown passes for Matthew Stafford. And the Rams are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Then he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
2nd down, here's Jalen Hurts. And this one complete to Smith. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
Now, that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. He'll find Swift out of the backfield. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your point.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett, and the Rams will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Boy, we've seen a lot of mistakes here in this first half, and another there on the interception.
Yeah, they're certainly starting to pile up, aren't they? Because, let's face it, we expect a miscue here and there, but they're already down 3 scores and still giving the ball away. If they want to get back into this one, they've got to take care of the ball because right now the way they're playing doesn't say a whole lot for their chances.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Now this throw caught left side, and he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one good for 26 and a 1st down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he's got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
He's got Mason complete. Touchdown, LA! 4th touchdown pass of the game for Matthew Stafford. And the Rams are able to widen their lead here in this first half. And he wasn't blocking or running it there. They tossed it to him.
And you remember the good old days when the 49...
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Play action. Stafford. And it's caught. Touchdown. 4th touchdown pass of the game for Matthew Stafford. And the Rams are able to stretch out their lead. Well, only the 2 catches for him thus far, CD, but both of them have resulted in touchdowns.
And I think he's on the bench right now, Brandon, smiling at his position coach and telling him, all those times you talked to us about efficiency, I'm living it right now.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now. And Hurts is intercepted, his third of the game. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
Following the fumble recovery, Stafford. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Now Stafford. Trying to find Kupp, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Reed Blankenship. And the Eagles are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. And that one into the hands of Brown downfield. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because they had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to look deep for Watkins. That is incomplete. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air. Fighting through. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Ernest Jones. And the return will stop right around the 25. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field. So play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more. But a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
Now a quick throw into the hands of Jefferson. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A lot of deflated looks on that defense. It seems like they just cannot find a way to get a key stop on 3rd down. Here's another conversion, and now this offense, they're in a position to go up even further as they got it 1st and goal.
To the air again, Stafford. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Not too many missteps in the red zone thus far. He was going for his 5th touchdown pass. His man couldn't shake free there, but boy, you know he's going to take another shot before this one's over.
Yeah, exactly, because you know 3 is good, 4 is excellent. You get 5, that's a whale of a game. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Cam Akers, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Rams take advantage of the short field and finish it off with a quick touchdown.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Once again, it's Swift. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Play action. Here's Hurts. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
2nd and 10. Throwing is Hurts. This will be caught by Brown. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle is going to be made at the Rams' 32-yard line. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
But look what we have here, a sustained drive, and that was certainly AWOL in the first half. They really struggled to try and move the football. But right now, they certainly seem to have the formula working. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. He finds his man, complete. It's Watkins. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last two plays. Well, still in the third quarter here. Now, you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome, but completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because my mindset is it's a new ball game from here to the end. Make sure it's a good one and close it out.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Ernest Jones. And the Rams are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. Well, that is now his 5th interception thrown in this game. And, Charles, you've got to tip your cap to this defense. I mean, they have been so impressive reading these passes, stepping in those lanes, and picking them off.
Yeah, sometimes the best offense is an excellent defense, and they've done exactly that. What do you think, partner? A season's worth of highlights in just 4 quarters? I think that's what we're seeing from this group.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And he'll find Higbee open downfield. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
21. Middle. What do you have?
A give running right is Akers. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. Final minute now of the third quarter. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. He finds his man, complete. It's Mason. So the completion gets him just a yard. And 3rd and 8 now.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8.
Hey, middle. Zebra.
Off of play action. Here's Stafford. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A big one there on 3rd down. They hit for 30 yards. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll give this to Akers running right. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Off the fake to Akers. Here's Stafford. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Matthew Stafford does it again. 5 touchdown passes. And the Rams look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
On 2nd down, Swift. And a little spin cycle. Room to run now. DeAndre Swift. Touchdown, Philadelphia. DeAndre Swift, 66 yards. And the Eagles are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. Elliott good on the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. You just kind of feel for the defense right now, this deficit. They have not been able to stop them the entire game, Charles. And some hands on hips, some long faces out there on the defensive side. Oh, they're like, oh my gosh, we got to face these guys again here.
Yeah, people don't understand how hard it is when you're on the side that's being dominated to keep your head up and continue to play hard. And that's what they're going through right now, trying to find that pride inside of them to allow them to continue to fight, even though they are down huge in this game.
And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The offense on 3rd down, they've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for this with Akers. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. There he goes again. Cooper Kupp, touchdown, Rams. Cooper Kupp, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Rams add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory. So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to, because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Ernest Jones. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because
Your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
Well, they'll take that every time with a lead, first down, fourth quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back, but 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Now a 2nd and 2. Going right back to Akers. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 46 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
From the shotgun, here's a give to Akers. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should...
And it'll be intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Well, this was a blowout supported by both sides of the ball today, Charles. It would be easy to look at the offense and say, man, they were clicking, and they were, but don't forget about the effort by this defense as well.
Yeah, they weren't going to let up just because the lead was saved. They wanted to play as big.
I can teach you how to get paid, how to get by, and how to get fly. I can teach you how to get cake, if not the whole thing, at least a little slice.